All right, I think the audio could be on now. Let's make sure. Yep. All right, audio is on. I'm Brankles. Thank you for joining us this week as we have a matchup between Dorado Gaming Gamma and Glaive Bingus. I'm joined by Love Me. Love Me, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited for this matchup. Glaive Bingus have looked really strong, and then also you've got Gamma, who are actually like one of the expected teams to win the entire tournament. So uh, it should be an exciting matchup. Gamma's kind of had a bit of a rough time after last week, but I'm sure that they'll make the bounce back, and I'm sure this series will be extremely close.
No, so let's take a look at before we get to the matchup though. I know that we have pro comps, and week one there was a a bit of the drafting by Glaive Bingus. You see, set the top lane, knocked. All right, I think our audio is now back on. But yeah, go ahead, Love Me. You were talking about you know, go ahead. You were talking about how if when you have such pro comps, you're able to kind of get more of an insight. And like I was saying earlier, as a silver three jungler, my friends and I, maybe if we had that back in the day, we'd be a lot better off.
Yeah, absolutely. You have things like Professor, you have OPGG, those are the big ones, MOBA Fire to help you with your builds. But ProComps breaks it down in a way that helps you draft competitively. There's a lot that you can gain from it. It shows you what your team comp is good at, and it also shows you what your team comp is bad at. So you can kind of play around what your win cons are. I had a testimony earlier today from Islamic Samurai, the support for Love Stage, and he actually said that this tool looks really useful. It seems like it knows what it's talking about, and it seems like it's programmed pretty well. So I have heard no complaints about it. It's been pretty solid so far for everybody.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, when you have tools that can help you in any way, try to use those, right?
Mhm.
Um, whether it's pro comps or reading up on stat sheets and everything, just
Yeah.
because a lot of times people talk about well, I'm gold or something, or I'm not the top of this.
Mhm.
It doesn't hurt to read up. I mean, love me, I'm not going to the YMCA to be the top basketball player in the world. I'll do some reading up because I enjoy the game. So like, if you enjoy the
Yeah.
game, just read up. Unless you're Flay, Flay should just be wood division at this point.
Flay is definitely a Wood Division player, and maybe he should go to the Y a little bit more. Um,
Oh gosh.
not to call Flay out too hard, but you know, pro comps is good for you if you're not really a drafting person or you don't feel comfortable with someone like a drafting coach. Then it will help you kind of get guided into where you need to be. We're also running specials on it. I mean, CCS code CCS for 50% off. Who can really beat that? It's 50% off for your first month or first 3 months, I believe. So I mean, it's a good tool to use. I agree with it 100%, and I think that everybody should be using it.
Yeah, well, let me, as we're waiting, because I think we're in the process of things are still getting set up. Uh, when you look at this lineup, though, what is the what is the worst pick that you could think of? If you were like, what lane do you play?
I'm actually a support main, so
Oh,
um,
what's the
yeah.
worst support? What's the worst support? Not like a champion two plane support, but like out of the support role, what's the
Mm,
worst champion right now to you?
what is the worst champion at the moment? I would say that it has to be like I, I don't know. A lot of supports are pretty solid right now. Maybe Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank's pretty god awful. It's basically just because he's based on how much skill you have on the champion, rather than like having that kind of go for it button. Nautilus has it. Um, Seraphine's relatively easy. She just presses her cooldowns and she's able to heal her teammates, shield her teammates. Like Blitzcrank doesn't offer much to your team if you're not able to hit hooks. So I think that Blitzcrank would be a pretty awful pick, in my opinion.
I think it's support Pantheon. That's who I think it is. Just because I can't do it, and then whenever I face a good support Pantheon, I just want to rage quit. I want to throw my whole laptop away and just restart. Maybe go back in time and say like Brankles don't play League. Maybe that will help.
Yeah.
Maybe that will fix your life.
Maybe that'll fix everything, There will be
That'll,
no issues if you just avoid League of Legends, right? That is what we all say. That is what all League players say. Just to explain what's going on currently in the background, we have some delays. It seems like the lobby has bugged out, so we're starting to work on getting a new lobby all started up for everybody. So bear with us as we continue the trend of Brinkles and Love Me having technical difficulties.
yeah. As also we're seeing the discussion of trying to figure out if a team loses a ban or not. That's what's being discussed right now. So, uh, folks, stick around. We'll be right back whenever things get situated. But don't go anywhere. You got Love Me and I. We're going to be calling this matchup between Dorado Gaming Gama and Glaive Bingus. All right, welcome back, folks. Brankles with Love Me as we are getting set for the start of this draft. Love Me. It looks like we already got our first two bans. Glaive has banned away the Poppy, while Gamma, they've gotten rid of the Gangplank. Your thoughts?
Uh, Obviously, Gangplank is Panzora's number one champion. He shows very much proficiency on it. Has about 77 games on it in solo queue, 71% win rate in those 70 games. Understandable. Poppy's OP, Zeri's OP, Ezreal's kind of good. And then you've got on the other side Nocturne being banned away and Twitch being banned away. Nocturne, we saw in the pro comps from week one, and they said, I don't want to play against that. Lock in the Sivir. Give me the OP champion.
Yeah, they got the Sivir, but also notice how they banned away the Nocturne and the Twitch, which was two champs that were used in that crazy draft that they had in week one. But hey, there's the Seraphine that you like.
Yeah, Seraphine, definitely a decent champion at the moment. She does a lot for your team. I mean, adding shield, adding AoE healing, has CC, has actually pretty decent damage. So she can be flexed to mid lane. She can be played bot. Personally, my favorite place to put her right now is in bot lane, farming with a Senna. But we will see what Glaive does with the Seraphine pick.
Yeah, I imagine like if you take a look at the way they've been playing, maybe with high legacy, has shown proficiency in a lot of champs. They've played Sivir, Twitch, Misfortune, Ezreal, Lucian, Jin, and even Kaisa. So they have a wide range in the way they're going to play. So maybe this is a situation where they don't have to worry about picking an ADC till like the last pick.
Yeah, ADC, I mean, it's a really flexible role at the moment. You can play mages in it, you can play supports in it, and there's just a lot of different picks. I did see this actually, that they left Camille up, which is Hazem's like best champion. Hazem has a ton of games on Camille. This is like one of his favorite champions. He loves to play it anytime that he gets a chance. And it looks like actually the LeBlanc comes out for and hold on, because I don't think we talked about this, but Carino is actually going to be the mid laner for this week. He's normally the AD carry, but Carino will be in the mid lane, and he says, give me the LeBlanc into Azir. I like this matchup.
Yeah, Carino playing the mid lane and having the LeBlanc against the Azir. Now, I'm going to be interested in how they're going to play around the Azir, right? Because normally with Azir, he can hold his own in the mid lane, but I'm wondering, like, do you try to have, Azir go top lane and try to get an advantage there as we see the Wukong picked up, and that's most certainly probably going to be the jungle?
Yeah, Panzora does have games on it, and I know that he played it for Valor Bulls a lot, the team that went to Plat Worlds with him. So it is a flex technically, and it's not that bad into Camille, although I would like to see a little better pick there. Maybe something like Lilia, maybe something that has more of that dueling style that you want to look for, rather than something that wants to take quick trades, which is exactly what Camille wants you to do.
The only people that I've seen be successful against the Camille when you have like a dueling styles, I've actually seen people play the Jax. Now that would be a Puff Zone special. He would play that on his streams, but maybe you go that raw, because that is someone that could survive in the top lane and not have to worry about, I need a ton of resources in the top lane to keep me alive.
Yeah, Jax is definitely a good champion into Camille, as we do see the Vayne is going to be banned away. You've also got Renata being taken away from the side of Gamma. Pretty decent ban so far. D-Holy losing out on a lot of his champions that he likes to pick right now, which is Renata, Zyra. These two champions, really loves them. I'm interested in seeing what he goes for. Maybe he goes for something more engagey, like the Alistar. I know he loves that. I know he likes that champion as well. So, I expect another ban going towards high here for Gamma, but who knows? It's up in the air.
Yeah, I also want to see Gamma as we see the Senna banned away, so that takes away that Senna, Seraphine lineup you were talking about.
Yep.
But if I'm Gamma, I'm hoping maybe pick up a tank. I'm a huge proponent that you need at least one Beef Lord on your team just to soak up a lot of damage.
Yep.
Because if you're an all-in team and let's say you get off to a rocky start, it's almost impossible to get out of it, because then you don't have, the damage to keep up in a fight, because the other team is already picking up items. So I think a tank would be serving them well as we see the Misfortune go to the bot lane with the Seraphine.
And this is a Glafortial Spectre or a Glafortial special here. He loves the Misfortune pick. CBR love to pick it as well. It's normally banned from them. So I'm excited to see somebody else play it for once. And I'm wondering if I don't think that they'll go for the special Vagar V2 build where you go for something like the Leandries. You can probably go for lethality this game as Nautilus being locked in. That's Nautilus is one of the best engaged supports in the game right now, if not the best. And there is no chance of seeing a Silas. You know where Seraphine is. You know where Misfortune is. So those two champions will be in the bot lane together. Nautilus is a good engaged champion into both of them.
And I know that we're saying like, oh, there's no chance we see Silas, but what if they were to say like, screw it, we'll throw in a Silas?
Like, yeah, I'd be shocked.
Listen, I've seen some strange drafts over the years, so you never know. But
yep,
maybe they go a tank themselves because I think that you're going to need someone to also be able to soak some of the damage. Mm-hmm. And on top of it, when you've got Nautilus, J4, and Camille, that's some bruisers. That's some big beef on the side of Gamma. What is Glaive going to have to? And that's Wukong top lane. You got Kindred in the jungle.
Yep, Wukong top, Kindred in the jungle, and this is a Flying Squirtle special. He loves this champion. He likes the Kindred. Loves to play these more. And he plays an aggro style too. He likes to fight. He likes to duel. And something that Jarvan's also pretty decent at is dueling. So I'm wondering how these two will play around each other. Kindred can out-farm Jarvan for sure, but it really depends on how well can Jarvan make things happen early. Gamma have definitely not gone for a super scaly mid lane, nor have they gone with an extreme scaly top lane as far as team fights go. They're going to win in the side lanes probably, but overall, Glaive went for full team fight, and it looks like Gamma kind of went for like this hybrid 1-3-1 type team fight comp.
Here's the thing is you don't need a tank necessarily if you're going to have the sustainability from the Seraphine. But also on top of it, Kindred has it in her kit, the Lamb's Respite to be able to survive in these team fights. Now granted, that's kind of a last-ditch effort because if you're getting blown up like that, then you're in some deep trouble, right? Yeah. But I think that on the side of Glaive, maybe they're saying like, "Hey, let's get this Kindred fed. Let's get this Kindred snowballing." Because love me, you've seen it before. When the Kindred starts snowballing, it's really hard to face it, especially if it gets Kraken Slayer on top of it.
Absolutely. And I know a few of the different Kindred players in this league that whenever they pick it up, it seems like it's almost unbeatable if they're way too far ahead. Once you start getting your stacks in, once you start getting that extra range, more damage, it's really hard and oppressive to deal with. As well as, if you're trying to trap them into a team fight where they're going to go low, they can just use their ultimate, not eat the damage, and just stay alive, put more DPS out on you. And all of a sudden, you guys are the same HP, and they're able to do more damage than you.
Yeah, I know. I have to agree with you on that one. As we are, bans are coming through. We've got our, we're waiting on these picks. But love me, based off of what you saw in the draft, which team stands out to you so far?
The team that stands out to me right now, I would say it would have to be Glaive's draft here. I really like what they're looking for. They've got kind of this zony / we can go in whenever we want type comp with the Wukong. They've got stuff like Azir to keep people away. They've got things like Seraphine, which make it hard to engage. And whenever you do engage, you get CC'd up. And it's almost guaranteed. You've got the Misfortune who's able to just kind of sit back, press her E, get the poke damage, and then pop out with the guns and shoot you up. And then the Kindred just to round it all out just for a little more consistent damage alongside the Azir.
No, this is exciting. Love me. I think that, we're in for a good one because this is honestly, Gamma was viewed as the number one team, right? And Glaive Bingus is currently the number one team in the division.
Yes,
they are 4-0 in match record. They haven't lost yet. And Gamma's looking to, get back on top of it. So I think that if Gamma pulls off this victory, then we're seeing a massive log jam at the top, right? It's no longer just like, hey, you got a couple teams that are really good. But if Gamma pulls off the victory, you've got Reign of Kings, Glaive Bingus, and Gamma all at the top, and those should be the three, favorites coming out of the division.
Yep, Reign of Brankles, as some would call them, because everybody knows that Brankles loves Reign of Kings.
Oh,
But yes,
it's true.
there will be it would be a one more lane bro type situation up at the top of this group, and that's what's exciting is that this group is actually super close. There's a ton of there's three teams currently that are just extremely close to each other. So I'm interested to see how this game will play out. It's going to have a lot of impact on the standings, and I think that we're getting ready to get onto the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, no, we're very close. We're gonna have ourselves a little bit of a delay, I believe. So,
Mhm.
folks at home, stick around as we got a good one between Gamma and Glaive Bingus. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brankles, joined by Love Me, and we'll catch you soon. Just stick around. All right, welcome back, folks. It's Brankles with Love Me. You ready for a matchup, man?
Oh, I'm ready for this best of 3 series between two what seems like high level teams. I mean, I believe it was Reign of Kings that actually took down Gamma. So I think that this should decide basically what the group is going to be looking at. Maybe we have a trifecta in the top where it's like a ever going triangle of like this team beats this team, but wait, this team beats this team, but wait, they beat that team. You know, I love to see that. That's exciting. That's what the CCS is all about. Competition.
You know, it's like the good, the bad, and the ugly. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned Mexican standoff. But, taking a look at this, though, we've got Hazim in the top lane on Camille. We got Rare Candy on J4 in the jungle. We have Carino on LeBlanc in the mid lane. Then we have SWBF on the Sivir and the ADC slot. And then we have D Holly on the Nautilus, which is a Xernean special, but is on the Nautilus in the support role. But on the other side, for Glaive Bingus, we got Panzora on the top lane on that Wukong. Then we got Flying Squirtle on the Kindred in the jungle. Then in the mid lane, we have the Epi Champion on that Azir. And in the ADC slot, we got High Legacy on Misfortune. And Xernean is going to be playing the Seraphine in the support role.
Yes.
Man, this is going to be fun, man.
That is a rundown and a half, as it looks like both junglers going to do kind of standard clears. I think that Rare Candy's actually looking for a gank already in the mid lane. So let's see how this turns out as he continues to creep his way into that mid brush.
It's a little dangerous, though. Rare Candy's sitting at half health about, though.
Oh, wait. Xernean getting traded onto by D Holy is now actually Epic Champion has to flash away. Will get hit by the chain. Will not go down quite yet. Actually just lives with like 1 HP.
Oh, man. Wow. What a gank. But it was so dangerous, but it was worth it. I think they're going to be able to get a lot off of this. As Carino, though, did have to expend a lot of resources, but hey, Epi Champion's going to have to use that teleport to get back into this one.
Yeah, Epi Champion going to have to use his teleport, uses his flash as well. I mean, Carino uses flash and ignite, so there was mutual agreements as far as what they are trading in that or in mid lane. I expect to see both junglers kind of making their way towards that lane.
Yeah, as right now, taking a look, the way that this is going, not a lot of bit of a CS difference. I mean, there's some in the top lane and in the jungle.
D Holy finds the hook, but goes underneath the turret and actually has to flash away from Misfortune. That was not what he was looking for.
D Holy, I don't know what that play was for, though, because you didn't really have the follow-up from SWBF.
Yeah, SWBF was a little out of range. Maybe was looking for some type of poke, but it looked like there was a bit of a miscommunication in the bot lane. You would like to see them fix that as time goes on. SWBF eating a big Misfortune Q to the face.
Oh, as we see Flying Squirtle's looking to, take on this first Scuttle Crab, but Rare Candy's waiting in the distance. Maybe because he does have Smite, but he's not going to go for it. They're going to allow Flying Squirtle to grab a, little bit of a stack there.
Yeah, Rare Candy was looking to contest for that Scuttle Crab, but smartly, it seems like Glaive knew this is where the mark was going to be, so they were able to make their way up, got priority on the wave, so it was impossible for the side of Gamma to contest that Scuttle Crab.
I really like watching Panzora play defending. Actually, one of the defending, if I'm not mistaken, I think was it Panzora or someone else? I think was the MVP of the Wednesday division last year. Now, obviously their team is in the Thursday, but he was one of the MVPs and played really well.
Yeah.
For I think the team at the time was called DX or
DNX.
DNX, yeah. See, almost the DCG, but that's a different team in our league. Yeah, but DNX, they were part of DNX, and Panzora, was playing really well. And so far, Glaive Bingus has not missed a single beat changing the name of the team.
As the hook does come out from Nautilus, going to put down half-healthing Xernean. Now D-Holy has to run back. Did get poked out. SWBF and D-Holy crashing a gigantic wave into them. That is a huge wave you don't want to miss out on.
No, and I think High Legacy, even though some of them are going to die to that tower, you are going to be down a bit of CS, but I just don't know how I feel about the plays that are happening from D Holy, because it feels like Holy is going in but doesn't have the follow up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. It seems like they're not really communicating what that triangle should look like for the both of them. Is now SWBF actually caught staying for just a little bit longer. You think he wanted to get onto his noon quiver on back, and that's exactly what he'll get with the amount of gold that he does have. As looking around the map, everything seems to be going pretty standard. There is a CS lead in the mid lane for Carino, which I'm kind of surprised about, but otherwise everything is going pretty okay. But Rare Candy does need to get onto the map, and you can see D Holy is up here in the top lane right now. Is now Panzora going to get gone on by the Camille, going to walk through, clear out some minions. I don't think that he thinks that he can live this out. Going to just try and get the cannon. Will he do it? No, he will not. Hazem picks it up with the scissor feet.
Dang, and you feel for Panzora there, because as soon as he dashed out, there was no way of escaping, because you had Rare Candy and you had D Holy up there. So there was nothing they could do to escape, and unfortunately, that's his first kill. Glaive Bingus, that's unfortunate for them, but congratulations to Gamma. You're on the board first.
Yeah, you're on the board first, and like we had said, I mean, this Jarvan wants to make things happen kind of earlier in the game, so it is good to get that gank off. However, I will say that Kindred did get a pretty nice invade onto the Raptors, did not clear all of them, so there is a respawn timer on those that's going to be delayed. So it's not a complete loss, but it's definitely not great if you are Panzora, and Camille got the first blood.
Yeah, his Flying Squirrel is going to begin picking up the blue. Carino's going to clear out that control ward. But I think the Scuttle Crab pops up next, and I'm wondering, if I'm not mistaken, Flying Squirtle's sitting on only one stack.
Whoa.
So
D Holy goes forward, not able to find the dredge line just barely, as SWBF has taken a decent amount of poke from this misfortune.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, ulti used by Panzora. He wants this fight as now they ignite.
Oh.
Do come down. Will Hazem be able to outplay this? Almost 1 HP on Panzora, but he picks up the solo bolo.
What a play there by Panzora. And that was a little scary, because we saw the damage that was coming out of Camille there. Mm-hmm. But kudos to Panzora there, was able to squeak out the victory on that team fight, or that one-on-one fight.
Yeah, just barely able to find it. And honestly, he was fighting in a gigantic minion wave. I'm surprised that didn't come into factor quite as much, as now they have Gamma has full priority over the bot side. So I expect this dragon to just be theirs.
Yeah, they were going for that Scuttle Crab, and then the top lane, that fight happened. But as you can see, Flying Squirrel is nowhere near this dragon as Rare Candy and the rest of them are going to take this dragon. And what I've seen so far, and this is what happened last week when Gamma was taking on Reign of Kings. Gamma was very aggressive, especially in that first game. So maybe they try to follow that blueprint, just be as aggressive as they can, make plays around, and you got
aggressive. D Holy is in the mid lane, but Epic Champion gonna just use the E to get away.
Yeah, Epic Champion getting out of that one, but like I was saying, be aggressive. Take it to them. And we're seeing that D Holy has been around the map, just making plays and helping set up, what Gamma wants to do.
Yep, as we do see, Kindred is doing a little bit of a cheeky Rift Herald at the moment. We'll maybe look to kill on Hazem, as now there is a gank coming in. But wait, there's a hook in the bot lane. As now ultimate does come down from Nautilus. Nautilus is going to continue putting out damage. Sivir flashing forward. Going to find the kill on a high legacy. Going to put down more against Xernean. But I think that's about all you're going to get from here.
Top lane.
Up in top lane, we do have Kindred coming through. Panzora has that ultimate, going to knock up Hazem. Hazem doesn't quite have his ulti yet. Doesn't even have the ignite. I think this is just going to be a dead Camille as now they continue going forward, and there is a kill for Flying Squirtle.
Yeah, Flying Squirtle, and I'm going to check real quick. It doesn't look like he had a mark on Camille, though. Oh, no!
Carino looking for the solo kill is now Epic Champion. Does flash forward to hit the wall. As now there's a flash coming out for the mastery. Wait, will Carino pick it up? Yes, just barely, though.
What is going on? That mid lane fight was weird, as we got to Herald the top lane now.
Yeah, top lane Rift Herald and Flying Squirrel said, thank you for the gold. They're feeding in this gold to Kindred quite a bit.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about you get this Kindred fed, and you were like, hey, there's people when they get that Kindred, it's like it's all over but the crying, and we're starting to see the Kindred getting more and more damage though.
Yeah, Kindred is up almost 1,000 gold on this Jarvan at the moment. Basically, gold losses everywhere else around the map. So Wukong and Kindred are keeping their team close in the overall gold category.
Yeah, and taking a look at the rest of the state of the game, we don't have any mythics yet, but we're already seeing Moby Boots on that Nautilus is a little scary, if especially if you're Glaive Bingus.
Yeah, Moby Boots coming out from the Nautilus. I do think it's an interesting pickup as Panzora. Going to use the W as now Jarvan is in the top lane. Panzora does not have his ultimate, doesn't have a flash or anything, so he's just going to go down here. Easy peasy. They want to try to give the kill over to Camille, but if they cannot, they will gladly take it on the Jarvan, and Jarvan just goes ahead and says, thank you for my kill.
Yeah, and rare candy, but I don't feel... Here's the issue, is they don't have any wards in that river. If you take a look, the only ward they have is kind of a defensive control ward. Otherwise, there's nothing. It's all dark, and they have nothing to, check on this Jarvan. And I know that Jarvan's kind of a slippery champion to track sometimes because he can dash around and stuff.
Yep.
But they don't have any way of finding where he's at, and this is what's led to 2 deaths in the top lane for Panzora.
Yeah, and actually Panzora might look for solo kill here. Never mind, Hazem going to do the smart play and back off. He did have the ultimate up and ready. So Panzora could have looked for solo kill if Hazem overstayed on that wave.
And right now we are waiting on the next dragon, which is about in a minute and a half. I feel like that might be an actual fight, though, because, the way this is being played, there's so many wards in the bot lane, nothing in the top lane. But look at this. You got 1, 2, 3, and then you also got the scuttle crab. So, yeah, there's actually 4. My bad. 4. There's one over here in the corner. So
yep, there's a lot of wards on the bot side. And if you are Dorado Gamma, you kind of want to get a back off here soon on your mid and bot so that you can contest this dragon a little bit harder. Is now Epic Champion taking a pretty bad trade in that mid lane, and he's going to be walking into this next play pretty low.
Remember, you were
now D-Holy actually flashes forward, looking for Xernean, gonna find the root on with the W passive, but now hits the hook, use the ultimate early, High Legacy going lower and lower, but SWBF just not able to find his way into the fight. Xernean gonna give one more auto just for the flyby, is now Flying Squirtle, uses the ultimate to stay alive on the other side, and I didn't even see that was happening.
No, we were so focused on what was going on as Xernean gets the good old-fashioned support kill. But that Flying Squirtle was almost dead to rights. What a play, though, by Carino. Carino has really impressed me in this mid lane. We were talking about how this is a ADC that was flexing into the mid lane. Has a lead. Has a kill on this Azir. And this is, on top of it, once Carino starts moving around the map like we just saw, creates such a matchup nightmare for anyone because LeBlanc is a champ that can go anywhere, right? I mean, you've seen it, Love Me. LeBlanc comes out of the bush. Well, I'm screwed. LeBlanc comes from the mid lane. I'm screwed. So the fact that she's been moving around the map so quickly.
Panzora using the ultimate a little early here as now Hazem throws up the thumbs up and knows he's being ganked. Flying Squirtle going to continue going forward onto Hazem. Slowed down by the red buff and will eventually be taken down as Flying Squirtle takes in another stack.
But that's another dragon for this Gamma squad, and they are going to be stacking that. And right now they've got themselves about a 400 gold lead, but we got 4 to 4 kills. This has been a fun matchup, though, Love Me.
Yeah, it's definitely been action-packed, and what else would you expect from two teams that really like to push in the early game advantage as much as they can? I mean, you've got huge CS leads in the bot lane is now actually High Legacy. In trouble, does get autoed underneath the turret. High Legacy taking damage. D-Holy going to have to flash away as now Carino comes over the wall and finds the combo to kill.
Oh, that's going to be a little bit of hey, mid's MIA, let me know, please. Because Carino comes out of that little bush and just instantly kills High Legacy. Ooh, this LeBlanc is getting scarier and scarier as now she is sitting at 2-0, has a CS lead, and has a bounty on her head.
Yep, and also has that dark seal, which we do like to see. I mean, you're pushing in that early advantage. It doesn't seem like Azir is working out very well against this LeBlanc at the moment. He's not able to push the wave as fast, and he's also just not able to be seen on any of the plays that have been happening.
No, and we're seeing how Panzora is in the top lane as well, has a lead. In the jungle, Flying Squirrel does have a pretty good lead. Is in 2-0-0. This Kindred has been the smart pick for this team for Glaive Bingus. But on the other side, I really do think this Nautilus pick was the right choice.
Oh,
For Gamma.
Hazem and Squirtle gonna have a bit of a day in the jungle. Squirtle gonna go low. Oh my gosh! And we saw Cho'Gath ult used there apparently as Flying Squirtle lost half their health. Is now Hazem actually gonna go forward? Uses the W to kick him slow. Panzora uses his W to get away.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Flying Squirtle had the Lamb's Respite up, but I don't think he wanted to use it there. Maybe you're like, oh, maybe Panzora can get there in time, and maybe we can do something. But either either Flying Squirrel just didn't use it, or was like, hey, I'd rather have it later in a team fight.
I don't know if he expected how much damage Camille would have done, but I think it's actually better for him to hold on to it. As now D-Holy actually going to look for the dive. Panzora has his ultimate here. They do take down the turret, though. Carino is up here. The TP was canceled. Are they going to find the kill on this tanky Wukong? Yes, they will. D-Holy trying to go forward. Does hook the minion, though, as now Hazem has to try to get away from this Fed. Kindred will not be able to. Epic Champion goes forward, uses the wall, is able to knock back two. D-Holy goes down. Rare Candy looking to make the trade, but not quite finding the damage before the Lamb's Respite. Not going to get out. Double kill for Flying Squirtle.
Flying Squirtle actually giving it up to Epic Champion. Slides right through like a water slide, knocks everyone back like a big old wave, and they were able to pick up 2 kills. D-Holy was perfect in that first initial fight, right? They were able to pick off Panzora. But man, the damage that comes out of Flying Squirtle and the utility that was displayed by Epic Champion on the Azir, this is such a close matchup. We're only 8,000 gold difference. It's 7-7 in kills. Love me. I think we're in for a pretty good one.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting game, and it looks like there's going to be tons of action. And actually, Hazem has made back the gold that he was down from earlier in the game by picking up that turret. So this Camille is going to be a bit of a threat option for the side of Gamma. But you also have to remember this Kindred is absolutely the strongest member in the game. Is now Panzora. Find himself in the wake of this Camille, but not going to get CC'd by it.
Hey, Flying Squirtle's making his way. But hey, we do see Rare Candy's also around in the area, but I think they spotted him out, so Hazim's going to be able to get out of that one.
D-Holy tried to come over with the Hex Flash, but did get rooted up by Exernian, so good awareness by Exernian to place that ward down. As now the bot side is still just completely controlled by Gamma. Gamma not giving any leeway for this Glaive Bingus team as far as the bot side vision goes.
And what's funny is that you have D-Holy that has been moving around the map. Look at the CS difference between High Legacy and SWBF.
Yep.
It is massive right now. The Sivir has been controlling this bot lane, has been picking and choosing the spots to go in, and choosing at the right time. How many times have you seen where the support is roaming and they die instantly, as we may see a bit of a fight here?
Carino going to get rooted up. Will stop that play from happening, but I will point out both top laners have their TPs here, and both top laners are also extremely strong with their mythics completed. As now Carino looking to push out the mid wave. There's going to be full prio over this dragon, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to contest.
Soul point, and you can't just let them have this. If I'm Glaive Bingus, you're down 3 dragons to 0 now.
Ooh.
That's
Hazem actually misses the E over the wall and will ultimately go down as he made an unnecessary flank play there and died.
Hazem opens up the door and is like, "Hey, is Jason here?" And then Jason Voorhees just killed him there. Just didn't necessarily need to be there. That was just... But hey, Flying Squirtle is now 5-1-1 and is the strongest member of this Glaive Bingus team.
Yeah, actually strongest member in the game at the moment with over 8K gold. He's about 1,000 gold up on the next highest gold person, which is Hazem, sitting around 7.4K. So he's a scary, scary wolf and lame. Is now going to go forward onto SWBF. SWBF did eat something with the E, but did have to flash away afterwards. Seraphine ultimate almost landed.
Yeah, I think they got the flash out of the silver, who is what you want. Because now if you can get a lockdown, or if like Epic Champion can push them back, then you've got champions that can do a lot of damage. High Legacy, even though the Misfortunes 0-2-1 does have that Eclipse, she's going to be able to lay out some damage.
And Ping's coming in on the mid lane. Rare Candy going to go forward. Is going to trap up both Exernian and High Legacy. High Legacy found themselves with a Camille Exernian in the team fight. But wait, Misfortune Ultimate does come out. Squirtle still alive. Is now Panzora's in here doing big damage. And a huge team fight comes out. Epic Champion still alive. Squirtle still alive. Putting down the damage. Squirtle going to continue chasing out. This SWBF is on the table. Wolf is hungry. Lamb is hungry. Will they pick up the kill? Yes, they do. Rare Candy, you're next on the dinner table. Flying Squirtle going to pick up the double kill. I believe that was 3 kills for Flying Squirtle in a huge team fight.
Bow down to the Flying Squirtle. Oh, my goodness. What a team fight. Love me. That was ridiculous. What a play for Glaive Bingus. We thought they were dead to rights. As soon as Rare Candy and them got on top of High Legacy and Exernian, it was like, ooh, this looks really bad. But we saw the Kindred ult, the Lamb's Respite, be a crucial point in this match. They were able to get in there, survive. Epic Champion pushed people out of it, and then Flying Squirtle and Panzora went to town. 9-1-2, love me. 9-1-2.
I did not even see that Wukong come into frame until the very last second. I saw the ulti come out. He hit like basically everybody on the side of Dorado. It was an insane ult by both Panzora and Flying Squirtle in that fight, and it really made the difference for Glaive Bingus.
Oh, love me. This is ridiculous, man. It is, but the thing is, it's less than 1,000 gold difference between these two teams.
Yeah, still less than 1,000. And actually, Exernian goes for a Locket of Iron Solari, which I find interesting because this item is pretty giga nerfed on range. So I'm failing to see the reasoning as to why, but she might know something that I do not about this Seraphine champion.
You know what? I think this might be a situation where you just assume that Xernian and them are going to have to like turtle back and get back to the team. Why not just layer on some more shielding and whatnot? But now we're starting to see more and more mythics. You know, we've got the Leandri's Anguish. But hey, did we say it? The Kraken Slayer on that Kindred is going to play a crucial part of this match.
Yep, as a bush cheese is being set up by Dorado. They are hovering towards this Camille to let him safely get this wave in, and that's exactly what they did. Is now Rare Candy. Down in the jungle, I think Squirtle actually wants this D-Holy over the wall. Wait, Hazam's going to go forward. Flying Squirtle getting caught, but he's in the Lamb's Respite, gets knocked up. Will he have the damage to take down Candy? No, he will not. D-Holy still in the back line, able to put down the CC. Now Panzora goes forward, using the ultimate, not going to be able to find anybody as D-Holy is the sacrificial lamb. In this fight, SWBF and Hazam find the kill onto Panzora. Another kill goes over to the Camille, and this might be a third one as now SWBF kiting his way out of the fight. Epic Champion just going to go down. It's basically guaranteed. Double kill for Carino, double kill for Hazam, and the solo laners of Dorado Gamma make the team fight.
Ooh, Dorado flips this match on its head. It's like a coin. Love me. It's flipping both sides. And we just saw Dorado. I mean, let's talk about it. D-Holy. We saw it. Like, everyone could see it. Was just waiting in that blue pit. Got over the wall, split the defense, and then on top of it, Carino was knifing through. Same with Hazim. They were able to pick up some kills, and right now, this LeBlanc is 5-1.
Dragon is up. Squirtle does not have the Lamb's Respite quite yet. Candy going forward. They do find the slow. Are they going to be able to find the Kindred? Not quite.
Oh my goodness.
They do eventually go down. The Ignite did come down from D-Holy. SWBF, you're way far forward, my friend Carino. Is in the pit. Going to use the W to get over. Distortion out of the play for the moment. Hazam and Carino have to go big in this team fight somehow as Panzora wants to continue going forward into the jungle.
Here's the thing, though, is Epic Champion going to be able to use if they're able to use the Shurima Shuffle and push Rare Candy out of the Dragon Pit, maybe that's the play. But you can't let them get this. If you give up the Dragon Soul and not have a single dragon on board, that's a real dangerous situation.
Oh, Carino is searching. He does find 2 in that brush, and this is just going to be a give. They don't have any way to contest this. Maybe now Panzora walking forward with his team. He knows he's the option they need.
Here we go.
Panzora.
Epic Champion's going to have to get in.
Panzora coming in, Epic Champion looking to go in as well as now Panzora goes forward, is going to get the CC, but not going to get the Dragon. The Soul does go over, the shields come out immediately. Panzora in the background, backline still causing havoc. Here comes Flying Squirtle. Ultimate used by D-Holy. D-Holy going to continue going forward on the Squirtle, but there's too much damage on the backside. High Legacy goes down. Rare Candy going to use the ultimate. Not going to be able to lock down Squirtle, though, as now the knocked up does come down. Flag and drag. Exernian goes down as well. Dog Gamma, triple kill for SWBF, and Gamma take that fight.
SWBF with the triple kill. Night, they're saying to Glaive Bingus. We're taking this lab rat out of here. Woo! What a play by Gamma. They did not panic. Ooh. They just took the dragon, and they got themselves the soul, and this is going to be a Baron play for them. And they rode the wave. It was kind of like teetering there after that fight when Glaive Bingus went up 13-10. But man, it is 21-16, and they got themselves a 4,800 gold lead right now.
Yeah, that gold lead swung very fast. They're waiting for Carino to be up to get the Baron, and they do get it. The 1-3-1 action is now activated. And if you're anybody on Glaive Bingus, you do not want to go to the side lane against either of these champions because you are getting one shot immediately if you're going into either one of them. All Dorado has to do is just sit Sivir in that mid lane and watch the waves do the work.
The Sivir has Kraken Slayer.
Yep.
Camille has Trinity Force. There's a lot of damage on this side of Dorado.
As Squirtle is going towards the top side, favoring the top side. They think that Carino is the easiest pick to make. Is now Candy walking in. They grab vision for Carino. Is now Epic Champion. Almost goes a little too far forward and gets his health bar taken from him.
Wow, Carino has been disgusting. Love me. I know that you were like, hey, I'm a little bit surprised with the CS lead that Carino was having. Carino has just been destructive in this mid lane, just taking it to Epic Champion. Yeah. But if we take a look, though, I mean, Kindred does have 8 stacks. Maybe that's what the play they go for, but we've already seen it doesn't matter if the Kindred's laying out a lot of damage. There's a lot of beef they still have to get through, especially when you have a bruiser in the Camille.
I tell you, Squirtle jumping forward at you is still a terrifying sight if you are SWBF, because that Kindred still has quite a few items as D-Holy kind of just sitting and controlling where this team can go. Glaive Bingus not able to walk really anywhere in their own jungle. And you can see in the side lanes, it's just almost impossible to keep them from getting anything, as now Squirtle is the target here. As now Squirtle actually goes extremely low to the Sivir. MF is going to be the target focus for Hazem. Takes down both of them in that team fight, or in that fight there. And Glaive Bingus, this might be the end of the game.
Yeah, and this is something that we were talking about in the draft. If you don't have a tank, how are you going to soak up any damage? They can't heal through it. I mean, unfortunately, High Legacy is 0-6-6.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it when you're facing off against Gamma, the preseason #1 team in your division.
As now Panzora goes forward, Seraphine ultimate is used. This is a great ultimate by Epic Champion to keep them away, and Panzora continuing to stay alive. Did go down to Hazem. Hazem just putting down the Daves with the Cho'Gath ulti coming out, and D-Holy takes one just for style as Dog Gamma go up 1-0 in this Glaive Bingus series.
What a match for Dorado. Love me. That was so impressive. They bounced back. They were able to get the victory. And man, can we just talk about Carino playing in the mid lane and was just dominating?
Yeah. But Carino said, I'm going to play my role. I'm going to do what I need to do. And he picks one of the harder champions to execute on and executes almost perfectly. I mean, hey, he finished up near the top of the damage charts with a Camille and a Sivir on his team. So, I mean, he did his job. He did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, love me. I was just very impressed all around from what we saw. I mean, both teams were impressive in their own ways. Flying Squirtle was great on the Kindred, but man, SWBF was great on the Sivir, especially in the later stages of that match. Karina was great. Rare Candy was great. You know, even if you want to talk about D Holy was all over the map and made plays for this Dorado squad. I really liked what I saw in game one, and I have a feeling if Glaive Bingus wants to take game two and force game three, they're gonna need a tank. Because what we saw is that Nautilus being the tank for them was crucial throughout that whole match.
Yeah, Nautilus was a crucial champion. He did a lot. He CC'd up I mean, basically every single team fight, Nautilus was on the MF, making sure that she was not able to put down her ultimate. The hooks were coming in on MF. The ultimate was used to also get rid of the ultimate pressure. And whenever you have a Wukong all by himself in the backline, he's going to take damage. Even if he is still tanky, he's still going to take the damage and he's going to go down eventually. You don't have anything to really help him out if Seraphine and Misfortune are not able to be there with him. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, it was excellent execution by Dog Gamma. And going into the second game, I'd like to see more of this execution.
Yeah, and as we get set for game two, though, love me, I'm excited to see what happens. For everyone at home, stick around as we'll have game two action here soon between Dorado Gaming, Gamma, and Glaive Bingus. We can see if DOG is going to take game two and take the sweep, or is Glaive Bingus going to force game three. We'll be right back after the short break. All right, welcome back, folks. I'm Brankles with Love Me. We have game 2 action. We're already in the drafting process. Any of the bands, surprising to you, Love Me, so far?
Glaive decided that they do not want to see that LeBlanc or that Sivert again. So goodbye to those two champions. I don't blame them because those two champions looked really, really good against them last game. As I think that Dorado are kind of saying, do we ban the Kindred here or not? Galio is actually going to be the ban.
Yeah, and actually, we got ourselves a little bit of a change for Dorado. They're going to have 17 come back in. That's their normal starter, as D Holy will go back to the bench. But D Holy played pretty well coming off the bench for Dorado there.
Yeah, D Holy, established vet, played for Derek Cobalt back in the day and did a really good job with Carino, won the Aegis Plat League. So, I mean, they have that kind of synergy already. D Holy is a good player. So, but 17 is coming in, and that's their main starter. And there must be a reason why he's the starter, right? He's got to be pretty decent. As we do see, Zeri is going to be the first pick for Glaive and Misfortune to counter.
And I do like the Misfortune pick. As much as Misfortune can be, immobile, but if you can surround her with, tanks, or you can surround her with champions that can, distract or take away threats, she can lay out a lot of damage. And we saw that before it turned towards Dorado's favor. I mean, we saw that Misfortune was able to lay out a lot of damage for Glaive. So we're going to see. I'm wondering if they're going to pick up support here, though. Nope, they're going to pick up the Vi.
They give Rare Candy his signature Vi. I have seen this before in scrims, and he's very proficient on the champion. It's able to make a lot happen in the early game, which seems like that's what they want Rare Candy to do, and it's kind of what their strategy is going into these drafts, is picking for kind of that early game-ish so that they're able to take control of the mid game and just suffocate out Glaive, because Glaive likes to pick for later game.
And it's another jungler that Dorado's going to have, as we see the Yuumi pick for the support. But this is another jungle pick, though, for Dorado that is going to be able to get to the backline, much like we saw Rare Candy do with the J4. Vi is very good at hitting that backline. She could either be that tank that you have in the front line, or be kind of that assassin bruiser that can get to the backside and do some real damage, especially if you have Halo Blades.
Yes, she can do quite a bit of damage very quickly. And also, even with her tank build, she's able to one-shot carries. Yuumi coming out. Silas is actually going to be the answer here. And I love this pick. It kind of makes it so that you're not able to pick these good ultimate champions. So stuff like Azir is, you're kind of like, I don't know about it, or Gnar even. One of those champions are now just slightly off the table. So it kind of limits what you're wanting to pick into the Silas, but I expect that Carino probably has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, and I think Carino, I like I said, I was very impressed with how Carino played in that first match with the mid lane, going with the LeBlanc. So we'll see as we see the being. Yeah, Nautilus was picked. I love it. That's oh man, D Holy is probably thinking like, oh man, 17 is gonna come in here and like have one more kill, and he's gonna hold it over me.
Yeah, Nautilus is an interesting pick, especially because you're giving Silas such a great ulti, but they figure that their team fight is just going to be better, or they're going to play team fights better in a way that Silas is just not going to be able to make the use out of it. So I think it's an interesting pick, even with Silas on the board, but we will see how it turns out in draft as Trundle is getting banned away.
Yeah, you take away that Trundle pick, that takes away Nautilus's tankiness. I've seen Trundle just easily able to just shred through tanks, especially with whenever he gets his ult off. So taking away that threat, that bodes well. But now you have to ask yourself, Glaive, is as you see the Kindred banned away, who is going to be that tank? Because your support's not going to be the tank, right? Yumi's not being the tank.
Yeah, no.
So you need to find a tank. I did an interview with Azernian last year, and she talked about how she loves playing champions like Nautilus, the Engage. But this so far, we're seeing her playing on Enchantress. When we had the Seraphim, we have the Yuumi. So I really do want to see a tank here for Glaive, though.
Yeah, the thing is right now is I see a Talia pick here. No, I mean it it limits a lot of what Silas can do. I think that Carino can just lock in Talia here and it would be completely fine. But actually going for the Cassiopeia, which is another champion that gets rid of dashes. So Yumi's not able to kind of dish and wash around without clicking directly on the champion. Zeri's not able to press her E effectively in team fights. And Silas isn't able to dash. So I'm fine with this pick. I'm fine with it.
I think Dorado is drafting really smart here. I'm being serious. I think that having that poison, on the ground that will stop them from dashing around, I love it.
Yep.
As we see this in South Jungle.
Yet another dash champion. I mean,
that's
yeah.
That's just it feels like you're turboing it at that point. You're picking champions that just dash. Well, if Cassiopeia puts that up in a team fight, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And that's why I'm also saying, like, if Talia was picked here, I mean, they wouldn't have a chance. But now Swain being locked in, so this could be top lane Swain. I think it will be because Panzora plays this champion, has a pretty decent win rate on it as well. So I think it will be top lane Swain, but you can easily just go for something that scales. I mean, like, there's a lot of different options that Hazem can play with here, so I'm interested in seeing what he's going to pick up.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was the Teemo?
Aatrox.
Okay. I like it. I like the Aatrox pick. That's a bruiser. They're going to have, man, it just feels like different types of champs, but once again, it just boils down to the fact that Glaive doesn't really have that tank, whereas Dorado's going to have some beefiness. Aatrox can be that bruiser. Nautilus is definitely a bruiser. And then you got Vi that could be a bruiser. So is Glaive going to have enough damage to burn through them? We'll see if that happens. But as it stands right now, I don't necessarily see it. But we shall see how it plays out, especially if Glaive is going to win this one, they're going to have to start snowballing really quickly in the early game.
Yeah, Glaive really wants to win this early game with their comp, but they also have things like the Zeri to scale up, and Swain scales pretty decently. I mean, he's not the best scaling option, and he's a decent team fighter later in the game, but what you're really looking for if you're Glaive is you want your Silas and Xin Zhao to control this early game to the point where Cassio's not able to really move around the map. You're able to put pressure on Vi because Vi can very quickly become a useless champion if she's not able to get effective ganks off or if she's not able to get ahead herself. But Dorado, they've picked for kind of this, like, we're gonna stomp you in the mid game again. They're gonna want a team fight. They're gonna want to continuously take down the team of Glaive and just exactly like they did early game or exactly like they did last game, where they kind of take control of the game. They know that they can win the team fights and then just make things happen throughout the map.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. But I think on top of it, the Swain pick is very much, is this a 1v9 pick? Love me. No, do you feel like this is where Panzora is like, no, I'm putting a stop to this? The defending MVP, whether people, say like, hey, MVP of a league last year, but you're still a top player. I feel like this might be a chance where, Panzora goes, hey, I'm going to go 1v9 because Swain can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Swain can do a lot of damage in team fights, and it's kind of deceptive damage because you're like, oh, he's not going to hurt me. It's just a drain. But then he starts landing the Qs on you. He starts hitting you with his E's, and especially when he uses the Vision of Empire on you, that's when you see a lot of the burst come out. So with that being said, can it 1v9? Possibly. I mean, there's 2 drain tanks on both teams here, so Aatrox is going to be healing. You've also got the Swain who's going to be healing. The only thing is, though, is that they don't, on the side of Dorado, a lot of their champions can't really build heal break for this Swain. They can't really get it effectively. Whereas on Glaive, you can get it on Yuumi, you can get it on Swain, and it's a really effective item. So, I mean, there's going to be heal break on one side fairly easily, and the other side is not going to have it quite as accessibly.
No, I agree, and it's just going to be a fun one. I think game 1 was really good, on top of it, but Dorado being up 1-0 here, I think that they're in the driver's seat. If they can control the early game and just say like, hey, let's just go through the Aatrox, have Misfortune put out a lot of damage, and have 17 run around the map, I think this is going to be DOG's victory. I think they're going to take the series. But if you're Glaive Bingus, what else do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Granted, yes, you're going to go down. You're going to have a loss in the category. Go all out. Try to force the game 3. Have that. Have Panzora go off on the Swain. Or on top of it, we've seen Zeri turn team fight. So maybe this is a situation where pull out all the stops, have the wards down. Just try to throw out the playbook and say, hey, let's go with what we know best. But hey, we're almost there. Love me. So, folks at home, don't go anywhere as we'll have game 2 between Dorado Gaming Gamma and Glaive Bingus. Game 2 action. Will we see a third game, or will this be a complete sweep? Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break. All right, folks, welcome back on Brankles with Love Me. Love Me, we've got game 2 action. We've got Panzora for Glaive Bingus in the top lane on Swain. Then we have Flying Squirtle on Zinzao. That's in the jungle. We got the Epi Champion on Silas. That's in the mid lane. Then we have High Legacy on Zeri in the bot lane. And then we have Zernian on Yumi in the support role for Glaive Bingus. Now on the other side, as we may see a little bit of a cheese here, though.
Yep, we've got Hazem on the Aatrox. We've got Candy on the Vias. Now they're actually going to go forward 17 on this Nautilus pick. It's a fairly strong pick early in the game, but not going to find any hooks. Does find a ward. Hazem going to get that early level 1 advantage. Carino on the Cassiopeia, SWBF on MF, and also 17 obviously on this Nautilus. This is going to be a hype game. I expect a lot of blood.
Yeah, Love Me, you're not wrong. We saw that first game. It was like what 7-7 early on in terms of kills, and we may see even more of this matchup.
Yeah, there could be still to come a lot of kills as Carino taking control over this mid lane early with the Qs. You do like to have those hit. The poison does a deceptive amount of damage early in the game, so Silas can get poked out pretty easily.
Yeah, you're not wrong. As we see, Rare Candy is going to take the red. But in the bot lane, this is going to be an intriguing matchup. Can 17,
17 goes ahead and says, give me the hook as he finds it. And that's going to be a half health Zeri. 17 also taking back some damage in the trade, but I think you'll take that trade any day if you are 17.
If you squint your eyes real hard, Love Me, you can see, is that D-Holy? Just going deep in there on this Nautilus. You gotta love it. If you're Dorado, you're like, wow, this is the aggressive play we want to see from our bot lane.
Yeah, SWBF has had pretty aggressive supports playing with him these last 2 games. I mean, he's been fairly content with just hitting the minions, last hitting them, and just making sure he catches all the CS that he can early in the game. And then also, whenever D-Holy was going for roams, he was still out CSing. So, he's content. He seems content with just having an aggressive support.
And taking a look at the rest of this map right now, we do see, Flying Squirrel is going to be he's taking on that Grump right now. Not much of a CS difference. Actually, the mid lane though, that's 7. But I mean, what do you expect when you got poison coming out of a Cassiopeia?
Yeah, poison coming out from Cassiopeia, able to lay down some of the poke that she is looking for. Is now Epic Champion going to go forward on a Carino. Does land the changes. Now there's going to be more action in the bot lane. High Legacy going lower. Comet comes down, and High Legacy might have to get a back off here soon, as now Zinzao making his way towards the top side. Hazem doesn't know yet.
It's a lot of damage and a lot of just wild plays going on. If you're Glaive Bingus, you got to be real angry about this Nautilus hitting you up once again, right?
It looks like there's about to be a fight in the mid lane. As now Epic Champion does go forward. The miasma comes down, but a little bit late. Is now Epic Champion continuing to take damage. Ignited by Carino. Carino uses the flash over. Flying Squirtle comes over as well and flies his way into a kill.
No way. Epic Champion gets out with like 2 health.
Oh, now there's going to be more damage. Rare Candy can continue going low, but Flying Squirtle says, I'm not going to give you a kill in return.
As we see the bot lane's coming down, but Ping's coming down, warding them off, and Hazem's low as well.
Yeah, Panzora going to continue walking forward onto Hazem. If Hazem finds a good trade, he's going to be able to kill this Swain, but I don't think that Panzora is going to position in a way to make it possible.
Man, can we just talk about how somehow Flying Squirtle was there at the right time to be able to ward off that death? Because I think Epic Champion, I don't know what wards he has.
Flash comes out from Hazem to avoid the Vision of Empire damage, as he probably would have died if he got hit by it.
He's still sticking around with low health. But yeah, I would like to see, I don't know if we can see what Epic Champion
comes
has.
Down Zeri. What was that interaction? As Zeri stayed over the wall but did get hooked. That was strange.
I've never seen anything like that. Love Me, I'm not gonna lie. That's one of those strange ones. It's High Legacy so low.
Oh, Xernian is going to be the focus target here, as they were the first one in front. But wait, High Legacy gets flashed on, gets autoed, and SWBF says, thank you very much, and finds the kill.
Ooh, this is starting to look like a bot lane gap between these two games. I mean, you switch out the Sivir for the Misfortune, and it's already still a 10 CS difference here in the early game.
Yep, it's already 10 CS. It's already a 10 CS difference early in this game, and it's also a kill difference now. So there's going to be quite the gold gap between these two bot laners. As now Rare Candy understands where his top laner's lane is at. Panzora getting gone on. Hazem going to continue going forward, uses the triple Q. Gets the last auto off just for good faith. As now, well, jungler's on top side, but Flying Squirtle is here first.
You see, Rare Candy takes out that ward, so they know where the jungler is running around at. But we might see Flying Squirrel try to make a play on this Aatrox. But the issue is that Aatrox does have that ult still.
Yeah, Aatrox still possessing the ultimate. And it looks like Yumi's actually making a roam up towards topside right now. Hazem going to get hit by the Vision of Empire. There's going to be quite a bit of damage onto him. As now Hazem going, getting gone on. And now Flying Squirtle and Xernean up in the top lane as this kill is going to go over to Panzora for the kill. High Legacy, 1 HP underneath the turret, but not going to go down.
Hazem, why, buddy? Why just stay there in the top lane? You were taunting them.
Yeah.
I know that they're going to pick up the dragon here, but man, and then SWBF almost picked up a kill as well on top of it, though. Gosh, a lot of resources were expended on both sides there.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of time spent by 17 down here in the bot lane. I think the play was to go for the dragon. Hazem should have been aware that on the slow push, they weren't going to be able to look for anything. But now Flying Squirtle, he is level 6. So MF damage doesn't mean that much. They are going to take the blast cone over just for good safety. And yeah, Flying Squirtle, once again, having an effective early game, finding a decent gank on top side and getting himself a kill.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is if you're Glaive Bingus, you've been able to pick up, the ball and have that role with Flying Squirtle. But the issue is that is there anyone else that's going to step up on this team, right? After what we saw when he played the Kindred, I mean, was like sitting there at 9-1-3 at one point. But the issue was that no one else had a lead. No one else could really build anything. And we saw Dorado was able to use their advantages and just steamroll the last parts of that match. So we'll see what happens. But I would imagine maybe if they can get Flying Squirtle to get some more kills, maybe that could be the carry. Because, as you said, once the Zenzao's level 6, it's a lot harder to kill him.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, I mean, once again, Hazem's wave was just slow stacked in, so there could have been another potential gank, but they are looking for the invade onto Vi. Pretty well known what's happening on the bot side of the map right now, so I think that they're going to be safe here in the bot lane as well, as Xernean actually does get hit by the hook. No follow-up by SWBF. Did have the ultimate, but decides not to use it. Is now Flying Squirtle coming behind. Rare Candy's in a weird situation. The Vi Q just not working in his favor.
Yeah, Rare Candy having to run away. His Flying Squirrel was just waiting. But Epic Champion is also sitting around as we see Carino's going to be coming through.
Carino places down a ward smartly to be able to find where that jungler is. And they've been spending so much time down here on the bot side. There's like nothing that Panzora can do in this matchup at the moment. As it actually pulls him forward for the triple Q. Auto coming down. And Panzora's wave is not in a good spot. It's going to push out to Hazem if Hazem allows it to.
Yeah, and this is the situation. If you're Panzora, yes, you've got the Swain. You're doing a lot of damage. Oh, no.
That was really close. If that Q lands from Hazem, that's a possibility of a kill. And you can see here, Flying Squirtle going to continue to play really, really aggressive. As now Cassiopeia with the double stone gaze and is able to pick up 1 kill. That was huge from Carino.
Carino once again playing well in this mid lane. Has a massive CS lead. Jeez Louise. Carino just playing out of position and just dominating right now.
Ooh, Panzora under pressure, but Hazem does have to use the flash in return for that try there. I find it just like... So what is happening is Glaive is trying to make plays around the map with this Sylas, But ultimately, the Silas and the Xin Zhao are not strong enough together right now to make anything happen with these aggressive plays. So they keep getting found, and they keep having to waste so much time. Carino's built up a 20 CS lead just by sitting in lane. Oh, Hazem not able to find the Q.
Oh, but SWBF is less than half health. You don't want to get caught up in any any situations where if like Yumi's ult comes down and locks you down.
Yeah, and there is the chance of a double kill bot lane, but they're going to take the safe play and just kind of back off as they do have 20 CS leads in basically every single lane at the moment for Dorado. As now Panzora has to use the Ghost to try to get away. The ultimate does come down from Hazem. Flash not available for this Xin Zhao. Vision of Empire comes out. Hazem going to get caught up by the E. Never move. Use. Flying Squirtle just going to say, hey, thank you. I will take that.
Flying Squirtle, man, Hazem once again getting caught out. I mean, yes.
Oh, big hook. Oh, the big hook comes down. High Legacy just going to get rooted up. Also, Xernean. That's a double kill for SWBF on the bot side. And that is not what you want to see if you are the Glaive Bingus jungler.
Oh, man. They took that cat and they put it in a shoebox, man. That was just ridiculous damage coming out of this bot lane. SWBF is playing out of his mind in these two series or these two matches. 3-0-0, 94 kills, up 23 CS, and most of the time it's been 17 moving around and stuff. So wow, once again they're showing why they were viewed as one of the top teams in this division.
Yeah, and I mean, with Carino being here, mid is now Rare Candy going to go forward. Not going to find the damage to kill off Epic Champion or Flying Squirtle quite yet. Epic Champion does go down eventually. Is now Flying Squirtle going in onto Carino. Carino is ultimately going to fall. 17 is next, maybe. Not able to find the damage quite yet. Flying Squirtle going a little too far forward. Is going to go down underneath the turret. High Legacy at 1 HP. The flash forward from SWBF. Double kill.
Oh, is Xernean gonna? Oh no!
Ooh,
oh no!
Vision of Empire almost lands as now Xernean. The cat is gonna get CC'd. But Hazem not able to find that second Q is not gonna find the kill.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, love me. I'm weak at the knees. That flash forward out of SWBF, that sent me on a roller coaster of emotions, man. Oh.
Yeah, a super aggressive play from SWBF in that team fight, and you could tell. I mean, whenever High Legacy and Flying Squirtle stepped up underneath that turret, it was scary. You have two low-range characters chilling underneath turret against something like an MF who's able to slow you, and you're just asking for disasters. SWBF takes complete advantage and is now 6-0 on this MF.
And the thing is, they were up. Glaive Bingus was winning that fight to start. Carino went down, but they couldn't kill off SWBF. And SWBF said, hold my drink, please. It just flash forward. I'm sorry, the flash forward is one of the craziest things with the low health that he had and was able to pick up a triple kill.
Yeah, he really wanted that triple kill, and it's paying dividends right now. High Legacy and Xernean, absolutely nothing you can do in this bot lane. SWBF already almost two items at the moment. So I mean, that play has been playing off.
But I mean, hey, love me, we still got a match ahead of us.
We do.
It's only a short gold lead though. It's not too big. But looking across, I mean, we do have the Eclipse on this Misfortune, which you got to love.
Oh, 17 coming down, looking for aggressive positioning, but not going to take it. They don't know where this Xin Zhao is. Bringing in Rare Candy now. And you can see this has been just so many times. Glaive has just been caught in the situation, but now Flying Squirtle going to go forward. Xernean is the ulti target. Not going to take the damage from the MF, but will take the damage from the Vi. SWBF going to be able to find the kill. No, Rare Candy actually, but the cat goes down. Continuing to go forward. High Legacy. Double kill for the Vi is now Hazem. And Panzora in this 1v1 top side. Never move. Not going to land. And that, yet again, this is so smart by Dorado. Every time that Flying Squirtle goes anywhere, it's almost like they know, because they're immediately saying to Rare Candy, hey, we need you on this side of the map. We think that we're going to get ganked. And Rare Candy is just there to save the day every single time. It's been like almost on cooldown, essentially. It's almost like they know.
Every time I'm seeing Rare Candy come out of the jungle, all I'm hearing is John Cena's music playing in the background. It's just blowing my mind that this jungler is in the right place at the right time. But 7-0-2 SWBF, showing why legitimately might be the best ADC in this division, might be the best ADC in the league. 7-0-2, man.
Yeah, wow. Chilling on the bench for Dorado. Gama is now. There's a flash coming over. Flying Squirtle is the first victim. 17 going to continue going forward. Flying Squirtle does go down. Is now High Legacy is getting flanked. Doesn't have the E, exerting and gets knocked up. That's going to be a dead Zeri. Rare Candy with the dunk just to seal it in. And this is looking bad for Glaive.
Glaive, and that's the problem, is that you even have the Rift Turtle that doesn't take the tower. Oh, this is getting rougher and rougher. This is almost like one of those horror movies where like, I'll put it on and I know what's going to happen, but I'm still going to watch it for the kills, right? Because that's what's happening right now. Is Glaive is just getting picked off in these fights.
Yeah, and I said it was going to be bloody, but I did not expect it to be this bloody for one team. And actually, Silas and Swain have both gone for the Leandries this game. They do stack, so it's not horrid, but I don't see Silas go Leandries like ever. I normally just see Everfrost on that champion because of how low it is, but now Panzora can go forward on the Hazem. Hazem just going to use the E over the wall. Flying Squirtle is here to be able to find the E. W did land. It's now Rare Candy. Rare Candy not able to save his top laner, but he was in the right place once again, just not quite there at the right time.
But that's the thing, though, is that you take a look at it, it's like, yeah, you lost Hazem. I mean, that's the third time today, so it's not too much of a surprise. But once again, Rare Candy's just been all over this map, and you gotta love it. If you're a Dorado fan, or if you're part of this organization, you have to be very impressed on seeing how this team is reacting and being proactive. They're not just waiting for this, Glaive team to come to them. We're seeing a lot of team fights where it's like Rare Candy is just in that position to, turn the fight.
Yeah, Rare Candy being there for a lot of the team fights, and it shows in his kills. I mean, he's got 5 kills right now, 1 assist or 2 assists. So he's been involved in quite a few kills, almost as much as SWBF has. And Carino, in the meantime, has just been scaling up. I mean, he's beating his laning opponent by 40 CS at the moment, and this Casio pick only continues to scale. Now Panzora gonna get gone on. Rare Candy finds himself in a weird position. Sec 17 is gonna go down. Rare Candy gonna be next, possibly. Yes, does go down, but now awesome is this IG shy on the flank as now he continues going forward. The resets come out. Panzora not able to find the never move. Hazem gonna continue going forward. Oh, Panzora gets knocked up, but the heal did come out. Epic Champion is here now to support his team. Hazem going to continue running forward. Vision of Empire does not land. Hazem is in no man's land, but is going to put down damage before he goes down. Does eventually go down as the dragon is still on the table, and they haven't looked for it at all. Gamma went a little too far forward there. Did ultimately go 3 for 2 there. But, I mean, if you're Gamma, you're taking that fight all day, every day. You're going to get another dragon.
WPF is 8-0-3, has a massive CS lead. The mid lane has a massive CS lead. What has Glaive got to do to get back into this? This is really hard, especially when you were pointing out that Leandri's anguish on the Silas. Man, this is really rough, especially when you're having to face off against 2 champions that can heal fast from what they're doing. I mean, Misfortune has the lifesteal. Hazem on this Aatrox has the lifesteal. Now you're expending your mythic to be able to burn that away? I don't know, man.
Yeah, and it's not the best thing to build on Silas, I will admit. I think the Everfrost would have been pretty high value here, especially since you don't have mobile carries on the side of Gamma. But, to be fair, it is being tested still at the moment, so maybe it isn't the worst. As you can see, Heal Break is actually now coming out as both Yuumi and Swain have purchased. And Hazem is so scary in this side lane.
Yeah, the 0-4 and 3 Aatrox is still really scary because that's what Aatrox does, man.
Yeah. As Vision fights do come out from both sides. SWBF sitting pretty up in that top lane, just deciding to chill out. As Hazem going and putting his positioning forward. High Legacy really doesn't want to be hit by anything from Hazem because that can basically kill him.
Yeah, and the issue is that as soon as High Legacy dies, then you got a situation of, do we answer this Aatrox in the bot lane pushing, or do we give up the... You know what I mean? Like, you're caught between a rock and a hard place in that situation.
Cassiopeia is rotating down. Panzora is going to be alone underneath the turret. Hazem is quite low, half health at the moment. Do they look for the dive? Not quite yet. They're looking to put down damage onto the turrets. They do have TP. They don't have TP on Hazem at the moment. Rare Candy's kind of in a weird spot, but he is going to be able to get over the wall. And they're going to be able to pick up the bot lane turret as well. So all outers are going to fall, and Gamma playing an excellent macro game here.
And we've already got the dragon stacking going on too, man.
Yeah. It's a pretty dominant game from Gamma here, but have faith. Flying Squirtle and Panzora are both extremely large right now. So that is kind of who you want the gold to be in, is that Panzora on the Swain. He's going to be your consistent damage throughout the fight. While Zeri is still scaling, is now 17, positioning forward. Not going to find anyone stepping out of place. Another clear out of the vision, and I mean, it's just been tense, man. It is so intense right now.
It's almost a 5,000 gold lead, but you feel like it's on the nice edge. The next team fight will decide who gets this Baron as well.
Yeah, everybody tiptoeing around the map. Nobody really wanting to make that mistake, as now the pings do come down. Hazem has grouped up to get the mid push. And I mean, if you're Gamma, you don't really have to do anything. You can just continuously wait until that Dragon Soul is up, and I think that's what they're looking to do.
Yeah, and it's less than 2 minutes at this point. You don't have to wait. You don't have to rush anything. You have the lead. You have, the advantages across the board. Don't rush it, because the last thing you want to do is to give up that advantage, and then you give up a Dragon and a Baron, and that just puts, Glaive Bingus right back into this match. So they're going to probably slow ball this one until that Dragon comes up.
Yep, and you can see the response team is mid. I mean, there's just nothing that Glaive can get on the map. If you try to go bot right now, you're going to meet the Aatrox is now Flying Squirtle. High Legacy, everybody just kind of running away as Hazem continued to walk into the enemy team, but nothing coming out from enemy team to kill him. You've got Dragon up here in about a minute, so everybody's going to get their resets in, get back onto the map, and they're going to look to make some things happen.
Man, love me. We're about to have ourselves a good old-fashioned Dragon fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a barroom brawl for sure. Both of these teams kind of trying to get to their power spike items as fast as possible. Swain's not quite able to get to his second item yet, and Cassio's sitting on 3 items. So Cassio is
going to be scary.
Yeah, I would say it's going to be a miracle, maybe a shot in the dark. If Glaive Bingus are able to win this team fight, it's going to be a shot in the dark. But hey, I'm all for miracles.
Yeah, and the thing is who's the epic champion which ult is he gonna take? Because the thing is if you pick up, the Cassiopeia ult, maybe that will help you out greatly in stopping them. But is it gonna be enough damage? So we have to find out.
Swain on the second.
We are less than 20 seconds away from this Dragon.
Oh boy. Swain on the second item now. You don't have a second item on Silas quite yet. I think he's trying to farm up for it, but he won't be able to get it before the team fight.
Folks, if you listen at home real intently, quietly,
you're walking into this fight. You know if you're Glaive Bingus.
You can hear the tense. You can hear how tense.
Panzora is going to get gone on by Hazem, but there is a flank on the backside. Is now Hazem in. Hazem going a little too far forward. Squirtle going to take the damage. Panzora is going to get hit by everything, but Squirtle is just going to go down, and Panzora is going to get TC. Cassiopeia going big. Flashes forward. Going to be able to find the triple kill. High Legacy getting knocked up by Hazem, but Hazem not able to find the second knockup, and it's just a wipe once again for the side of Dorado Gamma. What can you do if you're Glaive Bingus?
Oh, the Snake Lady does it again. Does a lot of damage, picks up the triple kill, and this looks like it is all over, but the crying love meets 4 dragons. They have twice the kills as Glaive Bingus. Dorado is looking to clean this sweep up. They have the soul. They're pinging the dragon or the Baron pit. Ooh, here we go.
Yeah, Baron is on the table, and it will be taken pretty swiftly as Carino just able to throw out those machine gun spells that we know and love Cassio for. Squirtle trying to get on the map as soon as possible. They do have vision of the Baron, but they're not going to have enough vision or enough time to take it.
Nope. And actually, we do see Glaive Bingus. They're looking to try to get into position, but I don't know if they're... Nope.
They are looking. High Legacy going to continue going forward.
Rare
Carino
Candy
going to eat the
come
autos. Is now the ultimate comes out from Cassiopeia.
TP coming in.
Putting down. TP coming in from the Aatrox. It's going to be another team fight as Aatrox in the back line. He's going to find the kill. No, not quite yet. Rare Candy about to go down, but not going to go down ultimately as Hazem still in the back line. Picks up 2 kills. Panzora going to try to tank up as much damage as he can before he goes down. Cassiopeia finds that kill, and Glaive Bingus throws something at the wall, and it doesn't stick.
You know, game 1 was such a classic matchup. Game 2, it's like, oh man, the sequel's coming out. It's going to be way better. You're like, hey, they padded the kill count, but yeah, it wasn't that great in terms of the storylines because, oh my goodness, this has been a beatdown by Dorado, especially here in these later stages of this match. 26 minutes. They are up by 11,000 gold.
Yeah,
love me. This is just we can just call it right now, right? I mean, Dorado's going to win this one.
I have a strong feeling that Dorado are going to win this one, but there is still hope if you are Glaive Bingus. It only takes one team fight for Zeri to get a lot going, and now Squirtle going to continue looking to go aggressive. He knows that his back is against the wall, and his fight or flight is going crazy. He wants the fights. But his team, they're just not able to find any.
I mean, you fight or flight, but at what point is fight too much when you got 7 deaths?
Let's see what goes on here. Panzora not going to land the never move. The Vision of Empire is also going to miss. Now Panzora is going to be the main target focus. The ultimate does come out from Squirtle, but Squirtle only has a short time on this earth. Rare Candy goes forward. Panzora going to get knocked up. Rare Candy does go down ultimately, but Epic Champions next on the dinner table. And that's going to be an ace. That's going to be the game. Dorado Gamma take the series 2-0.
They just literally good old-fashioned 2007 Halo 3 teabagging 10-0-12. It's Misfortune SWBF. Woo! They're going to take the series sweep, man. What a series. What a series for Dorado.
And Frankel's, you and I had the same exact idea. What a series. Dorado Gaming, from that first game, it looked like this was going to be a lot closer, but instead, Dorado come out in the second game and say, hey, we're going to take your lunch money, man. You're not going to be able to fight us this time. And you could see that in the gameplay. They completely choked out everything. It seemed like Bingus were just not able to get onto the map to contest at all. And even whenever they did, they just lost every team fight.
And you know what, we were talking about, like, who was going to be the MVP during the break, and we're like, Carino's been playing really well, but I'm sorry, SWBF takes the cake. I think SWBF was the MVP of the series. That game too was ridiculous. You had champions that could move around. Flying Squirtle was on the Zinzao, and that did not matter. SWBF flashed in and got kills. What an amazing game for Dorado. What an amazing series for Dorado, especially to bounce back after losing to Reign of Kings.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, once again, they're up at that top of the echelon type status. They're there. They're ready. They look like they're ready to just make another impactful play or make another impactful run towards the top of this. And hey, this group is a big triangle. As I had said before, this group's going to be a big triangle and everybody's going to be beating each other. I'm excited about this. And I think that we're going to be bringing in probably SWBF for an interview.
Yeah, no, this is going to be really exciting. So folks at home, stick around as we're going to be getting this interview set up. But thank you so much for joining us. But like I said, stick around after this break as we'll be interviewing one of the players for Dorado. All right, folks, welcome back. I'm Brankles with Love Me. We're joined by SWBF. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, feeling good.
Yeah, you guys picked up the 2-0 sweep there. How'd you feel about that game two on the Misfortune, though?
Yeah, it felt really good. It felt really good series about the whole draft, and after game one as well, just the way lane got played and the way that it was going, I felt like I could loosen up, play a little bit more aggressively this game, and do some playmaking, and I think it worked out.
Yeah, that's great. And you looked really good on the Misfortune, but also on the Sivir. And I want to kind of ask you, you played with two different supports this game, but it seemed like they had kind of similar ideas. It just seemed like the game plan changed. So was there any concern walking into the series that you were going to be playing with two different supports?
No, I'd say for most of my recent career, I've just been subbing in on teams. I'm pretty comfortable playing with various supports. I can, you know, play with different styles, and they were able to communicate well with me. I think we communicated well, and as long as we're doing that, it's just a matter of making sure we're on the same page, and it worked
Uh,
out.
so my question for you, SWBF, is how's it feel to be able to bounce back after last week when you guys lost to Random Kings? You bounced back in a huge way with a sweep over what was the top team in your guys' division.
It's definitely nice. I mean, I didn't play last week, but uh, it definitely feels good to show that last week was just a fluke. Just we're coming back bigger, better, stronger, and you'll see it here.
Awesome. And with that being said, I mean, you are a substitute for this team, but you played extremely well. Did you guys do any prep with Carino playing mid? I knew that you guys played some scrims, but was this a planned thing? Like, did you already know that this was going to be happening for a while, or did this just kind of come out of the blue and you guys were like, "Hey, Carino can go mid, SWBF's got it in the bot lane, we're fine."
Uh, no, we kind of knew going into the week that was the plan. We knew people's availabilities, and we did scrim yesterday with it, so it was the plan. We had some notice. It wasn't last minute,
Nice.
so we did have some practice.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
SW, my last question for you is, I know that you guys are part of like a big org with Dorado and everything, but for you, what's it mean to be part of this Gamma squad and knowing that you guys have, complete, trust in each other? I mean, you had two different teammates play the same champ and it didn't feel like anything dropped off for you guys.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a matter of the whole org has a desire to win, and that's kind of my personality. I'm a competitive person. Everyone else is, so we share that one desire and matter and just trying to get better. And so the owners and I think everyone in there keeps that across all the different orgs and all the individuals that I've spoken to and interacted with in there. So it's pretty good. Community from what I've seen so far. So it's very nice.
Nice. And I think that's all the questions that we have for you, Steven, or SWBF, as you're well known. Do you have any shout outs for anybody?
Shout out, of course, to my team and to Dorado to reaching out to let me sub. Shout out to D Holy that kind of came in last minute. So appreciate him for being available. And then just shout out to Goose, my good friend Toku, and then I'll shout out Zol for apparently just recognizing that I have something to offer, and
Nice.
thank you for that.
All right. Well, SWBF, thank you so much for joining us. And everyone at home, thank you for joining Love Me and I as we brought you guys this 2-game series sweep for Dorado Gaming Gamma over Glaive Bingus. Don't forget that next week we'll have more action for you. And actually, we'll also have some Diamond games tomorrow on the CCS too. But don't worry, tonight there will be a reaction video for the Thursday teams. But we'll catch you guys next time. I'm Brankles. That's Love Me. Thank you for joining us tonight.